What is up, guys? Welcome back to S3M2 Football and welcome to today's football preview video. Our action for today's video takes us to the English Premier League for a bumper London derby that is kicking off this Sunday on the 30th of November at Stamford Bridge. So please stick around as I talk just a little bit about the match that sees Chelsea host Arsenal. We start off today's video with the home side here being Chelsea. Now, the last 5 fixtures for the Blues have ended in 4 wins and then 1 draw. Chelsea have been phenomenal and then very clinical in front of goal. And that was perfectly on display this week in that commanding 3-0 win at home against Spanish giants Barcelona in the Champions League. The first player I have to talk about for Chelsea here has got to be Brazilian right winger S3M2. In 17 appearances, he has 5 goals and 1 assist, and he will be the playmaker out wide for Chelsea. This is a player who combines phenomenal pace with incredible dribbling ability and just pumps in a whole lot of creativity to that Chelsea front line. In the heart of midfield for the Blues, I want to talk about Argentine central midfielder Enzo Fernandez. In 18 appearances, he has 5 goals and 2 assists, and he is the box-to-box midfielder for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez has tons of stamina. He's got a wide array of skills that allows him to play in different areas on the pitch, and I think he'll be bringing a whole lot of flexibility to this Chelsea team. And finally, for the Blues, I want to talk about Spanish left-back Marc Cucurella. He has 18 appearances and 2 assists this season, and I think he will have his hands full with a very exciting Arsenal front line. Marc Cucurella operates as a pure fullback in that left-back position, and he brings a lot of energy and discipline to Chelsea's back line. Overall, Marc Cucurella is a very athletic defender. Tactically for Chelsea, coach Enzo Maresca knows how to get the most out of his team. Chelsea have a very fluid and quick front line that benefits from attacking on the counter-attack in their 4-2-3-1 formation. This team's midfield is very energetic and hardworking when it comes to intercepting opposition passes and closing down spaces. Defensively, the Blues have found a way to balance physicality with discipline. Okay, now on to the away team. For Arsenal, the last 5 fixtures for the Gunners have also ended in 4 wins and 1 draw. Arsenal's last match was a 3-1 win at home against German juggernauts Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Arsenal have been sublime, and they proved that by outplaying the Germans in pretty much every area. The first player we have to talk about for Arsenal has got to be English right winger Bukayo Saka. In 16 appearances, Saka has 6 goals and 1 assist, and he will be operating as an inverted winger on that right side of the pitch for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka is quick, he is creative, he knows how to pass, how to dribble, how to score, and I think he'll be that player they look to just bring a bit of explosiveness to that Arsenal front line. In the midfield for the Gunners, I want to talk about Norwegian attacking midfielder Martin Odegaard. In 8 appearances, Odegaard has 2 assists, and I think he'll be playing as the main playmaker for Arsenal. Martin Odegaard has great passing ability and range. He combines that with his phenomenal vision and his awareness on that pitch, and then you just have a player who, from those midfield positions, knows exactly how to unlock the opposition defense. Speaking of defense for Arsenal, the final player I want to talk about is French centre-back William Saliba. In 16 appearances, Saliba has 1 assist, and he will be the defensive rock in the heart of that backline for the Gunners. Saliba is physical, he is disciplined, and he is that player they'll look to bring a bit of aggression to this Arsenal setup. Tactically for the Gunners, coach Mikel Arteta knows that his players are flexible and intelligent enough to be able to play possession or on the counter-attack. This will probably see him lining them up in a 4-3-3 formation, and that allows them to just remain so solid in the center while still taking advantage of all of their pace and creativity out wide on the wings. Arsenal have so many players in their setup who can make the difference, whether it's from open play or from set pieces. Okay, now on to the head-to-head and our verdict. The last five editions of this London derby have ended in 3 wins for Arsenal and then 2 draws. So not a good fixture at all for the Blues. In fact, you have to go all the way back to 2021 to find the last time that Chelsea actually proved to be victorious over Arsenal. In these last five fixtures, the Gunners have scored 12 goals, while Chelsea have responded with just 4 goals. I think the most interesting statistic about those five fixtures is that in all five of those last derbies, Arsenal have managed to score. In terms of the Premier League table right now, Chelsea are second on 23 points, while Arsenal are first with 29 points. This tells us that the Blues can close the gap on the Gunners right now, who are leading the Premier League title race, but any mistakes by Chelsea will be capitalized on by third placed Manchester City. Arsenal have been great on all fronts this season. Both teams have actually been severely underestimated by pretty much all of their opposition. And as such, they have been able to punish big European teams like Bayern Munich and Barcelona for that horrible, egregious error. Looking at the Premier League table right now, I don't think that anybody at the start of the season would have thought that at this stage we'd see Arsenal at the summit of the table with Chelsea in second. I think all of the focus was still on Manchester City and Liverpool. The big problem for Arsenal this season has been injuries. While Chelsea have come up with a team that really isn't common household names, Arsenal have these top players like Saka, but they've all been picking up injuries week in and week out. And right now, the Gunners will still have to do without Gabriel at the heart of their defense. For Chelsea, they're still hoping that Cole Palmer is able to recover in time from his broken toe, but they've also proven that they don't really need him. Players like João Pedro and Estevao and Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, all of these guys can step up, take up the slack, and then just convert chances or just remain defensively solid as well. It shows that while teams like Manchester City are reliant on Erling Haaland and Liverpool has become reliant on Mohamed Salah, Chelsea and Arsenal have a team. They have a team of players who can step up, who can cover for one another, who know what it means to not just grab the headlines, but to operate as a unit. And I think that's why these two teams are leading the race right now. Nevertheless, I think in terms of the grand scheme here, it would be better if Chelsea actually wins here, not just because they're playing at home, but also because it makes the title race so much closer. And if Arsenal go out and win here, it does give them a bit of a gap over the rest of the Premier League table. I don't really think that is a positive. I prefer it when title races are tight and very close and everybody knows that they go out there in a high pressure situation week in and week out. And I think if Arsenal build too much of a gap, it means then that the pressure is on everybody else and the Gunners can just sort of run away with it. And that doesn't really make for a very exciting title race. Right now, though, anything but a win for Arsenal does give everybody else the opportunity to close that gap, but they do have a bit of breathing space. Though I think we have seen that both of these teams really just go into every fixture wanting to win it. It doesn't matter for Arsenal having to play against Tottenham Hotspur last weekend, then having to deal with Bayern Munich, and then for Chelsea having to deal with Barcelona, now having to deal with Arsenal. Both of these teams go into every match fully confident that they can pick up all 3 points and then going out there and intending to do so. Nevertheless, I think here a draw is a good result, but I don't think it ends in a draw. I think Arsenal do have a bit of an advantage. Even though Chelsea are playing at home, the Blues have proven that they can slip up in front of their home fans. They did it against Sunderland and they did it against Brighton and Hove Albion in the Premier League this season already. And I think against a team like Arsenal, goals are inevitable for Chelsea. They will score, but I think they will concede. And while Chelsea will probably score from open play, Arsenal can score from open play, and they've proven to be so clinical from set pieces as well. I think this one does end in a win for the Gunners, and I'm actually going to round it off with a nice little 2-1 scoreline in favor of Arsenal.